Great tackle coming in there from Cook Islands. Rotter at acting half. Goes back to McGregor. Long kick downfield. That finds space. Skims off the surface as well. Finds touch. I think the grease on the grass there just helped that.
Yeah, the rain definitely helped it just smooth over there. Racing will be really happy with that kick. It's great to get the field position. And they're really just going to grind this game out. You know, like you say, the conditions aren't great.
So it'll be Cook Islands with the possession, but deep inside their own half, 10 metres out from their own line. New Zealand will be keen to keep Cook Islands pinned well back. A win for the New Zealanders this evening. Again, it'll be more or less 1 foot through to the semi-finals with a huge game here at York in a few days' time as they take on the Australians, but matters in hand first with Cook Islands ahead of them. Stevens hit by a wall of black, driven into the ground. The ball's played and away. In fact, it was Wiki that was driven into the ground. It was Stevens at acting half. Wiki just returns to her place this evening on the wing. 6 again. You may have heard the hooter in the background. That set restart for the infringement at the play of the ball. And New Zealand at the moment keeping the Cook Islands back inside their own half of the field. Walton at acting half. It comes across the middle of the pitch. It's Cook Islands trying to send their big guns in, trying to get that extra space up the middle. Tanavisi tackled just inside of the New Zealand half. Walton, hands on, lovely handoff from Walton from Cook Islands. The defence just rebounds off her. Here we go again now, up the middle of the pitch for the Cook Islands. Stevens takes a place again at acting half. Goes out towards the right, Matua in possession. Grubber kicks through. Chasing back there is Shanice Parker. She's at full back this evening, tries to get around the first line of defence. A lateral run to start with from Parker, but she just manages, does she? No, she doesn't. Great work coming in there from Cook Islands.
Yeah, that is great from Cook Islands. New Zealand were keeping them down in their own half, and it was just that silly 6 again that they gave away, and now they've got to get out of a really dangerous zone for them. But Cook Islands are doing well. They've really put that pressure on them.
So we've had one injury already in this evening's match. Let's get some latest news on that, see how things are. Jenna Brooks.
Yeah, evening, Sharon. We just saw co-captain Kimiora Brayley Natai helped from the pitch. It was a lot better than we thought because the stretcher was ran out there. She looked like she was knocked unconscious. I can tell you she's not having a head injury assessment. She will just be a standard sub. She won't be returning tonight for obvious reasons, but a huge, huge loss for the Cook Islands. She, arguably the most experienced player that was going to be out there tonight.
Thanks, Jenna. So New Zealand then in possession. Cook Islands with work to do. New Zealand just looking like they're starting to pick up the pace a little bit in the middle. Jones with the kick downfield. That turns the defence, and that has far too much on it and just goes dead. So Cook Islands will restart. A disappointing end to that set, Kelsey.
Yeah, they needed to put a little bit less on that and really just dribble it into touch and walk to the scrum and really calm things down. But, you know, they know what they're doing. I feel like that was a really good set defensively before, and they'll be putting the pressure on now to keep them in their own 50. Brayley
Natai will be a huge loss for Cook Islands. Great that she walked off the pitch. Quite right that she won't be coming back out there this evening, but a massive loss for Cook Islands. It'll be interesting to see how they reorganise and where the leadership sort of steps up from, other than Walton, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly, but Cook Islands will be looking ahead. You know, they have got harder games ahead if they're going to continue in this competition. They're probably just thinking, you know, it is just only one game and it's a long tournament, this, but they're going to have to do a reshuffle, and I assume the other halfback will have to step up.
Little pass laid off there by the other halfback, Matua. And there she goes again with ball in hand. A prop forward turn centre in the halves this evening. Nice offload as well, keeps it alive. Cook Islands gain a few more metres forward. As a result, brought to ground is Rongakea. This is a last for the Cook Islands. The ball goes back again. It's with Matua. That's a high kick. That would have snow on it had it been snowing this evening. Taken well by Hafanga, and valuable yards made as well.
Yeah, that was a great take, and she knew what she had to do. She kept her eye on the ball and she got going, and now they're going to try to get out the set in maybe 2-3 tackles.
As a winger, what goes through your mind when you've got a high ball like that coming at you?
I think the key is just don't think about it too much. At the end of the day, you need to catch it, especially in these big games, higher pressure situation. So you just keep your eye on it and you just throw your body in touch.
McGregor gets to her feet and plays the ball. Taken and away. New Zealand really trying to do their best as Cook Islands come in with some real intent in that tackle. Great work coming in from the Gatapua as Rota takes it for New Zealand. Up the centre of the field. Nualasua. Or even Nua. This is the last of the sets. Kick comes in over the top. Over the shoulders. Not clean there at all by Tatuava.
Yeah, she was lucky there.
Yeah, and play continues as Cook Islands try and run it clear away out of their own 20. New Zealand's chase is good.
They'll really try to keep them in this half now, in this set. They don't want to be down defending their own try line.
The Cook Islands slowly getting to their feet. Looked at the stats of the last match that these two sides played, and New Zealand's play the ball was a good second quicker than what Cook Islands were managing, and that this evening, as it progresses, could be absolutely crucial of how this game goes.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take its toll. If you think a second every play of the ball, that's tired bodies by the end of the first half and the end of the second half, and they're going to have to compensate for that.
Cook Islands again doing the work, sending the big forwards through, trying to crack that line of defence from New Zealand. Here's Stevens. Back to Matua. Again, the kick, it comes. Taken, oh, not taken cleanly by New Zealand. Gone backwards, says the referee. Parker got away with that one, I think, as the offload comes and it goes out wide as New Zealand try and find space on the edges with McGregor. Steps back inside. She'll be met eventually. Big hit coming in from the Gatapuna.
Paige McGregor got him out of a lot of trouble there. Shanice was lucky to get away with that, and look where they are. They're already on the 40 metre.
No Appy Nichols tonight for New Zealand. She was named in the initial squad, but not named in the match day 17. So Parker dropping to fullback for the Kiwis. Again, a strong run coming through from Nuasala. And again, it's Rota at acting half. New Zealand through the hands. Finds Hall. Hall has support. McGregor's there. Steps off 1 foot. Elects to take it down the centre of the field. Scanlon doing the work. The referee just calling Cook Islands back on side. And again, it's McGregor. McGregor sells a dummy. Half a gap for McGregor. She's going for the corner. What a dummy to finish things off. And there's the opening try of the evening to the New Zealand halfback, Racine McGregor.
Yeah, there's a reason why she's the Dally M reigning best player in the world. You know, she's got a great dummy, great halfback. She's got that vision, and that's the thing, having people running inside and out, it gives her that space and gives her that time to really just show what she can do.
Some wonderful individual skill coming there from Racine McGregor. She's had a great season in the NRLW, as you see again the try coming through.
Yeah, that's just brilliant from McGregor, you know, selling those dummies. Cook Islands, there were some late retreaters there, you know, they had to get back on side, but as soon as she saw those late retreaters, she knew exactly that she was going for that try.
Racine McGregor of the Sydney Roosters, halfback of the year, and showing a worth to the New Zealand side there as well. So the conversion attempt, the kicking duties this evening with Leishan Albert-Jones, kicked well against Tonga in their international earlier this year, back in June. She's into the side this evening after missing last week's game against France. And the conditions probably better for the kicking. It's still raining a little bit. You can't quite see it on the screen at the moment, but it is still raining a little bit here at York this evening.
And hopefully it doesn't get any heavier for their sake.
It was a bit rough here on Wednesday evening for all 4 sides that played, and it was windy that night as well. At least it's a calm night tonight in York, as Albert-Jones prepares to try and tag on the extras. Just scraping the paint practically off the outside of the post. So no extras added, still 4 points to 0. New Zealand are underway. We see again there the dummy from McGregor, and there the second dummy. That second one absolutely bought by the defence on the outside.
Yeah, the full-back was definitely in two minds there. She didn't know what to do, and McGregor knew that and sold her that dummy.
So let's see what the Cook Islands have got in response. It was talked the other night about how slow they were in restarting the game against Australia. It looks like this evening they're going to take the time as well and really push the time limit to the very edge. And it'll be Matua again. Kerry Matua to start things for the Cook Islands. I almost feel like timing this just out of curiosity as this game goes on, as the kick comes again.
I can imagine in these World Cup games, every second counts. Any second to get some air in your lungs.
And that's got to be in their minds as well, hasn't it? That's a strong run coming through from New Zealand. The first carry of the set. Beautifully done by the Kiwi Ferns. Driving up the centre of the field again. It's a real tussle, isn't it, in the middle of the field so far. Some big forwards going up against each other.
Yeah, you know, when you saw the team sheet, you knew it was going to be a battle, and that's exactly what we're getting now. Both teams look a little bit nervous, a little bit like they're just trying to feel the way into the game, probably because of the conditions and because they know this is a must-win game, very important. So they're just both trying the best, grind it out.
Jones plays the ball to Rota, who offloads. And this is the fourth of the set. Cook Islands doing a decent job this time in defence, keeping New Zealand back inside their own 40. Rota from Atsing half. Nuasala again, trying to find a way through. Good effort again coming in. Kitai involved for Cook Islands. This is the last of the set for New Zealand. Still inside their own half of the field. Good job, well done there from Cook Islands in defence. Jones with the kick. High again, and it's spinning. That'll be allowed to bounce. Bit of a shake of the head from Kelsey there at the side of me, and what a hit coming through as well from the New Zealand defender. Atessa Poole right in there with that hit. Nobody seemed to move there to go for that one.
No, you know, I saw it spinning in the air and I thought, you need to catch this on the full, because that could have had a very unfavourable bounce.
And there speaks a voice of experience as well, I think, from that one.
Definitely, this has happened to me at this ground.
Scarred from the experience. So Cook Islands with that ball coming up through the centre of the field again with Walton. She'll really have to do a captain's knock this evening with her co-captain Kimiora Brelinati off for the rest of the night. A big hit in the opening minutes of this game, unfortunately ending her evening. Matua, nice little offload, but what a defensive tackle coming in there from the Kiwis. And the ball is lost, and New Zealand have the possession with McGregor.
Yeah, New Zealand, they're fighting for everything right now in that ruck, and that is paying off for them.
Parker trying to drive her way forward, met by two of those forwards again, Kitai and Tanavisi. But New Zealand now with the possession and the territory, and a bit of momentum going here as well, trying to find space. Well covered by Cook Islands. The tackle's made, New Zealand go again. Good yards again made, bringing them to within 10 metres of that try line. Will this be a second for New Zealand? They go on the short side. Again, a dummy is sold, a stretch out. The work's done by the defence, but Rota looks like she's got that ball down. She has. The referee on the spot points to the ground. Crystal Rota gets a second try of the evening for New Zealand.
Yeah, as soon as they got the ball back, they were just rolling them and rolling them, quick play after quick play. And when you're in your own 30, you just cannot allow that to happen. You need to slow the play down to give your teammates time to get their positions.
And we see here the mistake that led to it. Just a decent hit. It wasn't even that hard, it seemed, from Albert Jones that forced that possession to come loose, and New Zealand then used it to their advantage.
Yeah, she just hit a right sweep, got off a line and got the ball dislodged, and now they've paid for it.
And the captain getting her name on the score sheet as well with that try. We see there just straight from Atsing half. Dummy sold, defence wrong-footed. So the conversion attempt again to come from Albert Jones. Crystal Rota in her second World Cup for New Zealand. And she is the player who will know a lot of the Cook Islands well, because she is aunt to the Matua twins and cousin to Rusty Matua, the Cook Islands coach. She will know these people quite well, I would have thought.
Definitely, it's a real family affair, that. She'll know exactly how to work her two nieces.
And any family loyalty put to one side for 80 minutes this evening on this pitch.
I think it's even worse when you're family.
It must be. It must be.
It's
how you deal with it
worse.
afterwards, isn't it?
How do you go back to normal?
Don't know. Sorry, I knocked your front tooth out. Here, have a cup of tea.
Sorry I knocked you out the World Cup. Sorry about that. What do you want for Christmas?
So here's Johnson with the conversion for New Zealand. And again, just falls to the face of the post. 8-0 it remains. New Zealand starting to just turn the screw slightly again. We just see that the work done by the New Zealand captain. And she gets over the ground. Just a little bit of nous, really, I think, there from the Kiwis, knowing exactly what to do just to get that space to open up, and Cook Islands bought it.
Yeah, I think New Zealand, they've always been a side that they're grinders, they're big girls, they know how to hit hard, they know how to hit a line, and yeah, they don't do the fancy plays, but they always get where they need to be, and they're always scoring tries one way or another, and I think that's what they're doing. They'll know today is about getting as many points on the board and just seeing off this competition to move forward.
So the tries coming in reasonably quick succession for New Zealand. Let's see how they follow that up. Long kick downfield, not the cleanest of takes, but sorted out by McGregor in the end. And New Zealand are up and running again in the first of their set. Rota offloads. Again, the forwards doing the work up the centre of the field with Nuasala. The referee just making sure Cook Islands are well back. And the ball, again, played to the other McGregor this time with the scrum cap. Whoa, what a hit! What an absolute huge hit coming in there from the Cook Islands. We've talked about the forwards, Kelsey, coming together, and wow.
I think there'll be a few of them tonight as we're going forward.
I think we felt it here as well in the stand at that. We just see it again as the ball was taken in, and wow, what a hit going in there. Certainly intent there from the Cook Islands. As the kick comes downfield, the rain starts a little bit heavier again here at York. Tuana didn't take it cleanly. It was certainly facing her own line though, and no problems there. Good chase coming in from New Zealand, and they're setting things up as far as the territory is concerned.
They'll want to have a really good set now to get out of this danger zone. You know, you do not want to be carrying carries from there, but like we just saw, New Zealand, they're not here to play around.
No, they're serious, aren't they? They mean business this evening. There's no love lost, whether it be family or friends or whatever. They mean business tonight, do the New Zealanders.
They will want to keep them here all night long.
Cook Islands, I'm sure they'll have something to at least try and say about it as they try and drive their way forward again. They'll be keen to get some points on the board tonight with Cook Islands after that heavy defeat against Australia earlier this week as well.
Yeah, and they've been quietly confident, you know, they've been talking about the training and how they really want to compete, and they won't want to have two big losses back to back.
Matua with the kicking duties downfield. Parker is there underneath it. Bit of a juggle. She took that safely though. And she sets off and brings play back towards the centre of the field. Tries to accelerate through a gap, and there she goes as well as Parker. She's got support. Maybe just lost a bit of momentum with that bounce there for McGregor. But
yeah, she made up for it there. She made up for that juggle.
New Zealand certainly with the momentum. Jones from acting half up the centre of the field again. A big drive coming forward from the Kiwi Ferns. Rota. She's got some big forwards away to her right. She takes it to her left with Jones keeping it moving. Great tackle coming in on Osmond Monsell. And New Zealand keep moving. Within 5 metres there, but the offload trying to just squeeze it out, taken by Matua. Cook Islands back in possession, and you can't help but feel there, Kelsey, that New Zealand maybe threw a chance.
Yeah, I think Madison, she overplayed a bit there. She should have just took a tackle. They were 10, 12 metres out. All they needed to do was play the ball, and they were good at stripping for numbers on the edge anyway.
So Cook Islands now with a penalty. This will relieve them as far as possession is concerned. Just as we see again there, the tackle that came in on Madison Bartlett. She just tried to release it, didn't she? Like you say, there was no reason for her to do it. I think she just got a bit carried away.
Yeah, just getting a bit excited. You know, now that the 2 tries up, they're going to try want to play a little bit. They just need to keep to the systems.
So Cook Islands with that kick for touch. Not too many metres gained because of it. So we'll see what they can manage with the possession. as this game's going on, Kelsey, it just feels it's been more and more played in the Cook Islands half of the field.
Yeah, they probably haven't been down in New Zealand's half, apart from for the kicks, for a good 10 minutes now. And that will play, that's an energy burner, that will burn their energy out, but New Zealand will want that. They'll want to just grind it out.
So Cook Islands, Stevens adapting half again. Big drive forward coming from them. But again, New Zealand up to the task, and the tackle is made. Again, another big hit coming in there. It's like you said, New Zealand certainly mean business this evening, as again, they drive forward to the Cook Islands with Mo Ali on off the bench. This is the last of the set. A quick play of the ball being urged by Stevens. It goes back. The kick comes through from Hunapo, taken safely by Parker. And she offloads, and again we find Bartlett trying to do the work and brought down just outside the New Zealand 30.
It'll be interesting to see how this back three work together, especially when they start maybe scoring a few more tries as the game goes on.
McGregor trying to drive forward. Does well to gain an extra few metres with the Cook Islands defenders hanging off her. And again, New Zealand taking it steady. Route one at the moment. Let's see if they're trying to ship it out wide and try and find a way around. Brianna Clark on off the bench. Good work from her. Taking play inside the 40. Rota on the short side. Finds Jones. Keeps it moving. There's half a gap there. Can New Zealand exploit it? Good work from Cook Islands. Here we are again on the last for New Zealand. What will they offer in defence? Not a lot by the look of that. The ball goes back. McGregor just can't take it. It has to retreat before she picks it up and then puts the kick in. The runner is there. Taken. Oh, not quite in the end, but yet the try's on. No, says the referee. The ball's gone forward. Looked like Hufanga was possibly going to get a try on a debut there. But Cook Islands just did enough to panic New Zealand, maybe.
Yeah, that was really unlucky, to be honest. It would have been a good try, and it would have been great for McGregor to really get that try away. But, you know, those couple of seconds when the ball goes to the floor, they're absolutely crucial on fifth and last.
The touch judge just having a word with the referee before play restarts. I'm not quite sure what his problem is, basically. But anyway, he retreats back to the touchline and play will restart. So Cook Islands again with work to do to try and get out of their own half of the field. New Zealand really starting to pick things up.
These are energy consuming carries as well. In your 10 metre, in your 20 metres, you don't really want to be carrying these over and over again. They really need to contain New Zealand.
I'm sure New Zealand will be thinking the absolute opposite of trying to contain Cook Islands in their half of the field as well. Their forwards really getting through a lot of work when they are in possession. The Cook Islands substitutions will be key really for the Cook Islands, and of course one down already with really Natty going off early in the game with what looked like concussion. Say what looked like concussion, she was absolutely out cold. It was clearly concussion, but she's not having the HIA, as we heard a little earlier from Jenna. So Matua in the centre of the field. Big drive coming through. Again, New Zealand having to scramble in defence. This is the last of the set for the Moana. Matua again, straight to Parker. Did well there, Parker. You could almost see it. Almost slid through a grasp, and what a run again coming from the fullback.
She's got a great running game. She just needs to tidy up some of them high ball passes, because when she plays the likes of Australia or even England, their halfbacks can kick, and she needs to be able to finish them.
Quite a versatile player, Shanice Parker. It seems she can play in 2-3 positions.
Yeah, she seems like the perfect utility in the back line. You know, she can play all over the place, but a mistake there.
Big tackle coming in on Madison Bartlett. Again, it's Matua in there for the Cook Islands, just dislodging that possession. You heard the roar go up as well from the Cook Islands players. And you can see as well the rain's just still coming down here at York. It will be like a bar of soap to try and handle that. And if you've not quite got the carry right and you hit hard, you've no chance, have you?
No, the ball, it'll be like a bar of soap tonight. You've really got to take care of the ball, but Cook Islands will be happy to be starting a set here because they're already 20 metres ahead of where they've been starting before.
That looked a forward pass to me there from Cook Islands, nothing given. And Cook Islands try and build play from inside their own half of the field. Stevens towards the centre. Super Wichman brought down just short of the halfway line. Again, a big carry from Monique Moala. New Zealand just retreating back as Cook Islands try and edge the way up the centre of the field. Walton, very straight and very, I suppose, the conditions, you've got to play to the conditions, but at the moment Cook Islands very much happy, it seems, just to go one player up the middle and not really trying to crack the New Zealand defence much. We'll see what this last tackle on this set brings again with Matua. And again, it's scruffy. The ball went to ground. Did it come off another hand? No, they've lost the ball. It's New Zealand in possession.
Yeah, Cook Islands, they do look like they're lacking a few ideas, and maybe that's from losing Brayley Narty. Maybe she was their flair playmaker, and they're just kind of trying to keep it basic and get through the game.
Bit of a tussle there at the play of the ball as McGregor takes it forward. Oh, big hit coming in there from Nagatapuna. And we see there just the incident that led to the ball being lost. Matua just trying to get the ball out and away, and again, nobody was there. It came off New Zealand legs, and the Kiwis picking up the ball. So here we go with New Zealand inside their own 40. Rotter at acting half. Clark. Looked like she could have been caught slightly high there. Nothing given by the referee. The last of the set, he indicates, though. Rotter runs at that line with the offload, and this is just going to go down and be the handover.
I don't think New Zealand will be very happy with that. I don't know if they got confused and didn't know it was fifth and last, but they'll all wanted to get a kick away there and get some more territory.
It was almost as if they just weren't aware of where they were in the tackle count. It was indicated clearly by the referee, but somebody somewhere just had a bit of a brain fusion, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's because Cook Islands, that was a good set defensively from them. They really did slow down the ruck, and maybe it just frazzled New Zealand a little bit.
Walton with a short offload. Again, defence is in there right around the legs and stopping the offload as well, coming out of that tackle with work by New Zealand in defence. Once more, New Zealand sending their big guns up the centre of the field. Nagatapuna, and they keep the ball alive as well and gain a few extra metres as a result. Again, it's just the slow play of the ball, just breaking down that momentum we've seen from Cook Islands as Stevens takes it herself. And again, the tackle is there. And New Zealand constantly in twos and threes, but doing well there, Cook Islands, to offload again and gain a few extra metres. Inside the Kiwi 20 for the first time in what feels like a long time in this match. Matua takes the ball to the line. Looked like she was looking for options, didn't quite know where her options were going to be, and possession given up to the Kiwis. So New Zealand coming forward, just looking, Kelsey, like Cook Islands. I will put this down to the loss of Brayley Narty early in this game, but as you see there, the ball just simply lost. Everybody's going to make mistakes, but when you have that ball, you need to make it count, as we see Hall going forward here for New Zealand. Cook Islands really having to scramble in defence.
Yeah, and that's not what you want after you've just been camped in your opposition's half. You want to really grind it out, you want to put pressure on, you want to slow down the ruck, and it seems even when they're attacking, they're in no rush to play the ball.
Whereas New Zealand, you can see they are just faster than Cook Islands when they're passing, when they're going forward. And the Kiwis certainly looking sharper. Jones,
got
long ball, goes out wide, finds Bartlett, who steps back inside. Good tackle coming in. Bartlett driven to ground. McGregor at acting half. She's got the runners driving forward there. Poulet gets to her feet. A New Zealand attack on the short side again. No way through this time. The Cook Islands come through with a tackle. But New Zealand pushing the line, looking dangerous. Bringing it back towards the middle with Clark. Steps off 1 foot. Tries to drive forward. Held, shouts the referee. The ball's played and away. Little pass, offloaded. This could be a try for Stowers. Stowers tries to drive through. She's going to be held short. Cook Islands doing the job. Ball from McGregor. finds Hall, charging for that line. The try comes, Amber Paris-Hall for New Zealand. The third try of the game. Patience from New Zealand.
Yeah, and she deserved that. You know, she started off the set with this bolstering run down the sideline, and she finished it off well. And with a player like her, if you don't get in front of her and you don't get a good bit of contact, she's gonna bump you off, and she got the try there.
We see again how it was all set up there by McGregor, just that ball, and a player with that strength from that close to the line, running straight, they're hard to stop.
Yeah, she's a really talented player. You know, she hasn't just got a running game, she's got a step, she's got hands, so you don't really know what you're going to do when she comes up against you.
She just bounced off the tackle there, the attempted tackle that came in. Two players really just left in a wake as that run proved successful. So Amber Paris-Hall, 23-year-old, playing for Brisbane, played in the World Cup back in 2013 and then took a 6-year break from the game. Back though with a vengeance in 2022 in the 2021 edition of the Rugby League World Cup. So a change of kicker after no joy this evening so far for Albert Jones. And it's Clark who has got the duties now, Brianna Clark. She also had a few shots at goal there the other evening as well when they beat France 46-0. And they proved successful for her. So let's see if she can be successful this evening. As I mentioned, it might be raining. There's not a lot of wind to affect kicking games this evening. Or conversion attempts either. And there we go. The first goal of the game, successful for New Zealand. 14 points to 0. Clark adds on the extras. 1 from her. And we see again the try that led to that. Great work from Hall.
Yeah, you know, she's been real great even since she's come on. But I can't help but feel New Zealand have identified a weakness on that right-hand side. They keep going down there, so they're going to keep punching that side and then start playing to McGregor.
We will see.
That is my prediction.
I love it, predictions like that. I absolutely love it when things like that are spotted.
You can just see it. You can see it unfolding in front of you. So
Cook Islands will get started. I'm just looking at the players that are on this side, the left-hand side for Cook Islands. We've got Tatuava on the wing and Tumu Makara in the centres. So let's see if they end up having a bit of a torrid time this evening, if your prediction's right, Kelsey.
I can see it. I can see the future.
I believe you. I believe you. The kickoff comes then. And again, it's Matua going on the short kickoff this time, mixing up the kickoffs a little, still going out towards the Kiwis left. And New Zealand dealing with it safely. Didn't get far that time, though. The error comes in from New Zealand. And this could be something that sets things up nicely for Cook Islands.
Yeah, I was expecting them to be a bit more happier about that. You know, their first time, they're going to have some really good field position in their half. This is time to post some points.
So the drive goes forward, coming through from Moali for Cook Islands. Stevens at in half, sends the ball out to Matua, who's on off the bench, driving through, big run coming from her, taking play to just outside the New Zealand 10. Here's Stevens. Middle of the pitch again with Walton. Walton tries to spin and twist and turn. Can't shake off the defenders. Players lining up on both sides for Cook Islands. Passing, coming out towards the left-hand side. Long ball, there's half a gap there. Cook Islands trying to exploit that gap with Tatuava. Read by the New Zealand defence. The tackle is complete. The pass comes back towards the centre. It finds Tupu Witchman. Last of the set for Cook Islands. Can they get that defence to crack? Can they score their first ever points against New Zealand? Long ball again goes to Matua with the kick, puts it to the corner, taken by Bartlett. New Zealand back with the ball.
Yeah, Madison knew she had to catch that ball there because she was by herself in that corner. There were 4 Cook Island players running at it, never taking their eyes off the ball, so neither could she.
So New Zealand with work to do to get away from their own line. And a penalty for offside. relieving for New Zealand, but
that.
yeah, Cook Islands not needing that at all. We see again there the Cook Islands just creeping forward before that ball was played. And a player down in backfield for Cook Islands, just fastening his shoelaces at the moment as New Zealand bring the ball through on the first of the set. Some big hits still coming in from the Cook Islands, but New Zealand really are just starting to grow as this game's going on, looking sharper and faster, and that will take some stopping if you can't match them.
Yeah, it seems like even in the past game, they're slow starters. They get into the game, they feel it out first, and now they're rolling up the field.
Nita Maynard on off the bench for New Zealand. She's a tricky little player.
Yeah, very nippy around that ruck, so if they leave some gaps there, she's definitely going to exploit those.
She looks for the quick play of the ball as well, does Maynard, and if she can get the speed she wants, that will be a huge advantage for New Zealand.
Yeah, it definitely will hurt Cook Islands if she can start nipping around that ruck.
Drive going forward. Stowers was there in support, had that ball come out. Great play from her on off the bench. Here's McGregor in possession. Ball goes back. Nice work from New Zealand again to find the gap down the wing. What a great step. What a drive forward. Again, denied on her debut. Hafanga, her first try, denied. Just held short of the line. What a tricky run going forward from the winger, but well done there from defence of the Cook Islands.
Yeah, that was good from the Cook Islands. Great scramble D there. Now they'll just want to get out of their own half as quick as possible.
And the ball just taken back. The referee not happy with where and how it was played. And Cook Islands just hanging on to that, and again, right still. A toenail's distance it feels from their try line at the moment. They really can't afford any errors in this position. And again, the whistle goes. This time, it goes in the face of the Cook Islands. A high tackle coming in from Clark. And this will be relieving for the Cook Islands.
They will be so thankful for that. But that just shows New Zealand, they're just eager. They're eager. They want to keep them down here. They want to stamp their authority on this game and be like, you are not getting out of your own 50. And they were putting that pressure on, and it's just unfortunate, but Cook Islands won't say no to that.
Denzel Orongakea, the player down on the ground, just having a bit of attention after that tackle coming in from Clark. And again, we've got that stoppage in play as New Zealand still standing the ground, if you like, on their defensive line, waiting for play to restart. And Cook Islands just taking time to get a bit of a breath together, getting together in their huddle. And the Cook Islands only getting together a week or so before this tournament started. So progress being made by them, but clearly New Zealand, they had the run out, they had a friendly together, an international friendly together a little earlier in the year. They've had more time to come together.
Yeah, and they are an established side, let's not forget. They've won this tournament twice already. They know what they do. They know what they need to do to win it, and they know that it's not about winning the tournament in the first game. It's about growing into the tournament and getting where you need to be by the time the business end of it comes.
So still down on the ground, Rongakea still receiving a bit of attention from the physio. I can see some New Zealand fans down away to my right-hand side, and you'll have to forgive me that I don't know what the things are that they've got in their hands, but they look like pom-poms and they're spinning them beautifully. It's yeah, you see that.
Yeah.
You see like Maori dances involving those items, and again, forgive me for not knowing what they're called, but you don't see them very often in York. Wonderful to see. It's like we're saying,
need to get some in the club shop.
Be brilliant. So as I mentioned earlier, the culture that this World Cup has brought with it, as well as the colour and the traditions as well, it's been superb to see right across England as this World Cup has unfolded. And in all three competitions, different nations taking part in the men's, women's, and also in the wheelchair as well.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it special, you know. In the World Cup, you have all these different nations in the same place at the same time. You get to see so many different things, and it's good to have different nations, you know. There's Canada and Brazil in the women's game. There's not a men's Canadian team. There's not a men's Brazilian team. So they're bringing a different kind of culture to the World Cup.
And I hope in reverse as well, the the players that have travelled to England and stayed in various places wherever their team bases have been have appreciated in return what England has to offer as well. Certainly thinking about York and the history of this particular city, it's probably been a bit of a tourist expedition for teams such as Cook Islands and New Zealand and Australia and France as well.
Especially being here at Bonfire Night.
Yeah.
Guy Fawkes, those ghost runs.
If anybody didn't know what was going on last night with the fireworks, it is a British tradition. If you're not from these parts, it is a tradition and nothing to worry about on November the 5th. It was back when they tried to blow up Parliament, but not anymore. So New Zealand in possession. Centre of the field. The run coming through from McGregor. She's getting through a lot of work as a centre.
I think she's trying to help her forwards out. You know, they are putting in the hard yards in defence and really trying to slow down this Cook Island side, who are big girls. So when it's switched over in your attack, you want your fastest players to get you out and give you a rest.
Ball played and out across the middle of the field. The drive comes through from the Kiwis. Taken back into the ground is Charlotte Scanlon. The referee not happy. He blows the whistle. Just separates the players, and it's a penalty for a high shot to New Zealand. In fact, it's not a high shot. She was tipped in the tackle there, and the legs came above the horizontal. So New Zealand with the last attack of this half. It finds Bartlett out wide. She keeps it alive, but the pass goes forward, says the referee. The whistle is blown for half-time. Job done so far for the Kiwis. 14 points to 0. They lead the Cook Islands, who are called to arms almost by Eliana Walton, the captain, trying to gather her players. Ricky Henry just going down the steps of the main stand, no doubt reasonably happy with what he's seen from his charges of New Zealand. And New Zealand leading by 14 points to 0. So I say reasonably happy for the coach, Ricky Henry, Kelsey Gentles. I would still think, even though they're 14-0 up, he'll be looking on certain areas to improve.
Yeah, he'll know that wasn't a perfect performance from them. They've given away some penalties that were silly and just not necessary. And when you come up against the harder nations, you just won't be able to do that and get away with it. 14 points. Cook Islands will still very much think they're in it, and they are. It's only a couple of tries, so come that second half, New Zealand will definitely want to be posting a lot more tries and really come away from this with a comprehensive win.
Well, let's get some reaction after that first 40 minutes. Let's go down pitch side and join Jenna Brooks.
Reece McGregor, tough conditions, but do you feel like you're playing to them well?
Yeah, I think we're doing awesome, but, you know, there's a few things that we can get better at. A couple of errors there in that first half that we need to clean up and come out in the second half, and I think we can do heaps better.
But how do you evolve in the second half?
I think just hold the ball, keep possession, kick down to their corners and pin them down there.
Reece McGregor, thanks for talking to us. In you go. We'll now speak to Annika. Annika, certainly not the way the Cook Islands wanted to start, to lose such an influential player, is it?
Yeah, no, it was pretty heartbreaking, but we've just got to keep pushing for our captain. That's all we can do, really.
Are you still in this contest?
For sure, for sure.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Back-to-back champions.
Looking to see what the world champions can bring. Oh, brilliant!
This is going to be something special, folks.
Aware Super, the Profit for Members super fund for you and you and you. The super fund for everyone, everywhere. Find out more at aware.com.au.
With Mosh's new milkshake, I lost 10 kilos in 12 weeks.
I lost 11.2 kilos.
I didn't know we were doing points. I lost 10.2 actually.
That's still less than 11.2.
Mosh milkshakes are tasty, quick to make, and they fill you up.
So easy, even he can do it.
I mean, it wouldn't be a race car.
And you wouldn't chapter 12.
I just don't think it would be a very thrilling drive.
The all-new GR86, brilliantly out of its league.
We're perfect here.
Residents safe and accounted for.
What if they're late? We are lucky to be here!
Don't worry, darling. Express release available now in Foxtel Store.
It's a nice line break, and it could be a chance here for Reeves. Might not need the support. Got support on the shoulder, still going. Reeves goes in. Jessica Reeves, wonderful run. Everyone wants a piece of the action now. Big dummy, Karoy goes over. Sarah Karoy is in. Look at the joy. Now they're looking to kick. They're kicking across field. This is a purposeful kick, and it's not dealt with here. The chasers are coming. This could be it. This could be a hat-trick for Guassaman. He's over. A World Cup hat-trick. Now they're going wide. They've got numbers if they can get the ball out wide. That's a nice ball. Ball goes out wide. Here's a chance for Monson. Second for her. Well, there come Papua New Guinea. Oh, that's a lovely pass. And away goes Guassaman again. Guassaman trying to bulldoze through. Guassaman going, looking for four, turning on the burners. Wonderful individual try. Couple of metres away. They're going to have a scoop themselves. They get the pass away. They've got numbers if they go through their hands. If they go through their hands, they will. Brazil just starting to fall off. 1 or 2 tackles. They're going down the short side. They've got plenty of bodies in support. And they are over. They want the ball centre field. They're just going to dribble the kick towards the post. Is it going to stay in the field and play? It is. They're going to try and pinch one from close in. They have got one. They're over the line. It is celebrations all round. Moxon celebrates as well. Papua New Guinea 70, Brazil 0.
So the two sides packing down. Here we go with England on the attack. Courtney Winfield-Hill keeping the ball alive, moving it out to Leah Burke. Leah Burke goes forward for the corner. Has she got that ball down? She thinks she has. The referee, here we go. The video referee being employed within the first minute.
Go down one more frame. The ball's down now.
So all eyes to the big screen, and it's a try. This is the last of the set for England. Courtney Winfield-Hill with the kick. Look at the space out wide. Can it be taken cleanly? It can. Tara Stanley with the offload. And it's Georgia Wilson who goes in. Come on. England with the ball from the scrum. To Roach, moving it along the line. And there is Goldthorpe going forward. Looking good. What pace for Goldthorpe. Slicing through the defence. Brad Goldthorpe. What a run from the England full-back. A superb try. Danny Anderson gets to her feet. She's on off the substitutes bench. As the ball goes out to Roach. Roach sells a dummy. Space opens up for Georgia Roach. Roach is in the clear. She's been chased down. They won't catch her. A kick at the feet. And Georgia Roach is in. Vicky Whitfield with the break. Tries to get around the last line of defence. She's still going as well. She's taking some putting down is Whitfield. Look at the position she's taken England into. Bennett looking for the quick play of the ball. Out to Roach. Roach keeps it to Stanley. Stanley goes herself and Tara Stanley touches down. And again, it goes to Stanley with the step through the gap. She's got support with Roach on the left. She's got support on the right. Takes it herself. Tries to bat off the defence. She manages it. Tara Stanley goes in for a second in quick succession. Alex Evans on off the bench, her first appearance in this World Cup. Moving it out wide towards the right. There's Hindley with a bit of a step. Good tackle, but a good offload as well. And Canada are in! Canada have scored. It's Petra Woods. Just trying to work out who's playing where. at the moment, with 3 half-backs basically on the pitch, with Beth Stock coming on. We'll come on to that in a second as it's moved out along the line. Here's Stanley again, going for the line. She takes the pass, and that is Tara Stanley's hat-trick for England this afternoon.
Hold, go.
Out and away again to Winfield Hill, puts the kick in. The defence is tight, it's short, taken by Burke, and it's Leah Burke. England remaining unbeaten with a 54-4 win over Canada. So 2 wins from 2 for England in Group A, meaning that they and Papua New Guinea have qualified for the semi-finals. Who finishes top of the group? We will find that out on Wednesday when these two meet each other at Headingley at 7:30. And that, Kelsey Gentles, has got to be the game of the group.
100%.
Oh, dear, oh dear. Oh, why were they telling you to pick? Were they not watching the action? Oh, what a race. Fantastic.
No matter how you're driving Australia forward, trust Hino to bring you home. Hino, built for tomorrow, delivering today. That's the Hino advantage.
I mean, it wouldn't be a race car.
And it wouldn't drift well.
I just don't think it would be a very thrilling drive.
The all-new GR86, brilliantly out of its league.
Aware Super. Awarded CanStar's 2022 Outstanding Value Superannuation and Most Satisfied Customers Superfund Awards. The 5-star Profit for Members Superfund for you. Find out more at aware.com.au.
I started working on instruments because I was fascinated by how they were made and how they worked. I loved playing them. Once you've completed the design and the construction and wired it all up, that moment when you get to flick the power switch on and hear it breathe life for the first time is pretty exciting. Partnering up with Hard Yakka is a thing that's come easy. It's well made, looks good, and I know that I can rely on it.
See how it all began.
You decided on a name yet?
Rocky Jew.
Little Chief?
Rocky 2.
Rocky Maivia.
Any of those except Rocky 4.
New Young Rock, Sundays 6:30 on Fox 8 or watch on demand.
Holding court with his charges, telling them exactly what he's expecting from them in the second half. As we mentioned, Kelsey, after that first half, he'll be looking for improvement still. It's only 14-0 on the scoreboard. They have, to some degree, dominated possession and territory, but he'll be looking for more.
Yeah, like, he'll be content with that, but he'll be by no means happy with it, and he, like you say, they've dominated in parts. He'll want them to come out in this next 40 and dominate from the first minute to the last, and he'll want these Cook Islands to be seen off aggressively, as a New Zealand side should.
So the players there just starting to leave their dressing room as we look inside the Cook Islands camp. Right in the middle there, sitting on the chair, is Rusty Matua, just giving instructions to his side. I still think it's New Zealand's game is this one, Kelsey, but Cook Islands are putting up that fight. I just think that they need to just try and pick up their pace a little bit in every aspect of what we saw in the first 40.
Yeah, like you say, they're a big side, and New Zealand have got those maybe just a little bit faster players, a bit more pace with Shanice Parker and Madison Bartlett on the wings to get him on the front foot a bit faster than these guys. But like you say, the game isn't gone yet, but if they don't really score in the first 10 minutes, it'll be hard for them to win today.
So that's the Cook Islands dressing room. And there we see, if anybody knows what they are actually called, apologies because I don't. They're not a very common sight in York, but it's wonderful to see from the New Zealand fans. Joining in, no doubt, with Sweet Caroline with a few of the twirls and spins. It's wonderful to see. The French fans have also arrived as well, ready for the game after this. Against Australia, we've had a quick chorus of Allez les Bleus as the flags of the Cook Islands are waved in the main stand, just near the tunnel, waiting for their players to come back out to get the second half underway At York, it is New Zealand against Cook Islands. New Zealand with that 14-0 advantage. And again, we see the drums coming through as well for Cook Islands. So it's round 2 of Group B in the Women's Rugby League World Cup. Back at York this evening, the LNER Community Stadium. New Zealand against Cook Islands. New Zealand, if they get the win this evening, they will have that 1 foot in the semi-finals. Just a question there of where they finish in the group. Cook Islands, they're looking for their first ever win against New Zealand, having met in the World Cup in 2017 and losing by 76 points to 0. And in 2003, losing by 68 points to 0. So not only are Cook Islands looking for their first win, they're also looking for their first points this evening. New Zealand have looked the sharper side of the two, but Cook Islands still in with a sniff in this, just trailing by those 14 points at half-time. A big loss in the first half. Their captain, Kiwi Nati, going off very early in the first few minutes with concussion, a big hit, just got the tackle wrong, and the captain sadly leaving the field, but thankfully walking off despite being laid out cold by that challenge. So it'll be Cook Islands to restart play as we see Ricky Henry going back up the steps to his position. The referee, Michael Small, getting ready to get this second half underway. And once more it's Matua going for a short kick-off, taken by McGregor, just slips slightly, a little bit greasy underfoot. We've had quite a bit of rain here in York for the last few hours. A very fine drizzly stuff that really does make it very, very greasy underfoot, and also handling as well. Kelsey Gentles alongside me, the England international and York winger, knows this ground very well. And it'll be difficult conditions even if this rain stops, because of how much water we've had basically coming down.
Yeah, it's been raining for a good few hours, and just knowing this ground, it's a lovely ground, but you know, the water does sit in it, and when you get stuck in it, you're slipping and sliding all over the place.
Good charge forward then from New Zealand, coming out with that intent that we saw in the first half. Great little run from Maynard from the acting half position. Good yards gained. This is the last of the set for the Kiwi Ferns. It's McGregor. Kick goes up. 2 or 3 options for the Cook Islands, taken by Tuana safely for them. And they will start to try and build an attack and come away outside their own 10. Territory, always important, Kelsey.
100%, and like I said in the first half, they'll want their fast players that can get them out where they need to go. That's a great run there.
Yeah, good half break coming there through from the Cook Islands. Tackle nicely made by New Zealand. It was Wiki, the player, who tried to drive through. She was at full-back in the last game. On the wing this evening for Cook Islands. Matua brought down on the 40. This is the last of the set for Cook Islands. The ball goes back to Matua. Long ball downfield. That turns Parker, who lets the ball go straight through a grasp almost, but it went backwards. She picks it up safely. And New Zealand again try and build that attack.
Matua's been their saving grace a lot of the time in this game. You know, when they haven't got really that far with their runs, she's put up a good kick to turn the fullback around.
Well, let's see what's been said at half-time. Let's go back down to the pitch side with Jenna Brooks.
Thanks very much, Sharon. I spoke to Rusty Matua, the head coach of the Cook Islands. The biggest message was stop missing tackles. We did speak about the loss of his co-captain, Kimi Cora, Brayley Natai. Obviously, she's an influential player. She's one of the most experienced players out there. He did admit that losing her could actually cost them this game. As far as Ricky Henry, the head coach of New Zealand, goes, he just wants his players to be a little bit more patient. But all in all, he's happy and he's confident that they can go on and get this result tonight.
Thanks, Jenna. Well, I'm sure Ricky Henry won't be too chuffed there with what happened. A penalty given for dissent to the Cook Islands. Somebody saying something out of turn as far as New Zealand is concerned. So this will be the first real chance of this second half for the Cook Islands. Chances few and far between in the first 40. They'll be keen to show what they can do with this possession.
Yeah, they'll want to post some points here to really get themselves on the board and get them going.
Historical points as well if they can manage it. Tupu Wichman in the centre of the field for Cook Islands. The ball's played to Stevens. Up the middle of the field with Walton. Oh, there goes Matua straight through. Should take some stopping, but the defence manages it. And again, it's Stevens looking for a quicker play of the ball, and she gets it as well. Brought down short of the post. Cook Islands pushing now. Will these be the historic points they're looking for? Matua trying to crash away forward. Great work coming in from the Kiwis. Crowding around the ball carrier. The last of the set, says the referee. A slow play of the ball. I think the referee losing his patience slightly as Matua kicks through. Down on her knees to take that ball is Bartlett. New Zealand absorb the pressure.
It's a shame that kick didn't go a bit further. It would have been nice for them to post some points, but New Zealand, that try line D, they almost had the spacings perfect. You can tell they're a tried and tested side.
New Zealand back with that ball then. It just feels that we've talked, Kelsey, about what a loss Brayley Natty is for the Cook Islands, and we're seeing it there, I think, really. You know, Matua playing in the halves tonight, maybe not a first choice halfback, started as prop, developed into a centre, and my, what a strong running centre she is as well, but it just needs maybe that little bit more craft.
Yeah, she's doing her best, isn't she? But like I say, she's got free on her back. She'd probably be a great line running centre, and that's probably what they're missing tonight. Brayley Natty probably would feed her on the edges to score those points, and with her being missing, that's what they've got, a little bit of a gap in their attacking premise.
But let's see if they can make things count now. Again, back in possession, and Cook Islands take it away towards the centre of the field. Wiki brought to ground. Wiki, of course, a famous name in rugby league. Her dad, Ruben, a former international himself. As Rongakea is brought down now, just inside the 40. The referee urging New Zealand back. Bit of a trot coming through from Walton there, not really hitting that ball at full pace. Again, that's sort of a knock-on, isn't it, from a slow play of the ball? I guess your runners can't get that pace going.
Yeah, when it's taken its time to get the stand up and play the ball, you've kind of got to stall to get going, and that slows down your ability to hit the line with power.
Last of the set for Cook Islands. Goes back and away. Long downfield from Hanapo with the kick. Scooped up by New Zealand. And the break forward comes from Hafanga from the wing. Strong run there from her. Tries to get around the defence. Does well. Brings play well out of that red zone. New Zealand setting up again. Bartlett and off the wing. She'll be brought to ground just short of the 40.
These backs will be able to tell the Cook Islands forwards they're blowing a bit, they're taking a bit longer to get back on side.
I think Hafanga just going up. Thought she was receiving treatment and going off there, so just going back to a wing. I think she was certainly talking to the water carrier for a moment or two after that run, but New Zealand still going forward. Crystal Stowers brought down. Maynard, almost play stopped there for some reason. I'm not quite sure why or what was going through Maynard's mind. But play continues. Albert Jones with the ball, goes back to McGregor, who puts a kick through. It's allowed to bounce again, and it's collected by New Zealand. But the referee says offside. The whistle's blown, and it'll just be the handover.
Cook Islands were lucky to get away with that there, because someone needed to catch that on the full. There were so many New Zealand players running onto it.
And this is something we saw in the first half as well, a ball like that allowed to bounce by Cook Islands, and that was very costly nearly for them. Never let a rugby ball bounce. So Cook Islands with the possession, they got away with it, and it's Stevens that takes it. And again, Cook Islands try and find a way through up the middle of the field. Again, we see Crystal Stowers in there with the tackle. Crystal Stowers, who's a rheumatoid arthritis sufferer. Some days she just struggles to get up off the floor, and how she manages to play rugby league, it's absolutely incredible. We've seen so many players with different stories, and it's wonderful. Some of the players that we're seeing in this World Cup, as again Walton goes forward for Cook Islands. Inside the New Zealand half. Ball goes back. I'm not quite sure if they were expecting that. Somehow trying to keep it alive. A bit of a flappy tackle coming in from New Zealand, but Cook Islands finding half the space up the middle of the field there. But again, New Zealand are in there with the tackle, and a real tussle as well as Stevens gets to her feet and tries to play the ball. Once more, it's Matua with the offload. And the tackle count is being eaten up by Cook Islands. This is the fourth. Matua puts the kick over the top. Scrambling back there well is New Zealand once more. They're straight there.
Yeah, that was a great take from Shanice Parker. She knew what she needed to do.
And we come up with the error though, the knock on. And this time Cook Islands do celebrate that error. Shanice Parker's taken some beautiful high balls, but at the same time there's been one or two where you've just maybe had a doubt in your mind as to how solid and how confident she maybe feels this evening. And there's an example, and this does set Cook Islands up nicely.
And that's the problem sometimes with playing so many positions, that you never get to perfect one, or you don't get enough opportunities to play in that position regularly. And when you just kind of have to slot in, you've got to adjust your game at a drop of a hat. And maybe that's, she's set herself up to play centre or wing today, and then Appy Nichols, unfortunately, has dropped out and she's had to change her game plan.
I think I've also seen Parker play in the second row in the NRLW as well. So yeah, she really is versatile, going from backs to forwards and back again.
Yeah, she plays everywhere, doesn't she?
Yeah. So Cook Islands then with the ball, trying to crash the way forward. New Zealand are up to the task though, the defence is there. But can Cook Islands get this try? The stadium would erupt if they can, but the ball is dropped, not clean. They're going for the short power play every time at Cook Islands. New Zealand are up to the task, and the error letting Cook Islands down on that occasion. As we see again here, Stevens with the ball going again, trying to get the forwards to do the work just to crash in, and the knock-on comes from Tanavisi. Picked up gratefully there by Parker.
Cook Islands know their strengths. They know their strength is that crash ball, but against a side like New Zealand, who can defend their goal line because they've got equally big forwards that can defend.
So the ball goes into the scrum, and it's out and away for the Kiwi Ferns. Trying to find space out wide. And I can't help but think, I know you said earlier, Kelsey, that you felt that New Zealand had seen a weakness of Cook Islands down one side. I can't help but feel that it will be out wide where New Zealand will get the joy.
Definitely, because Cook Island, they are working hard. They're working hard in the middle, but when you've got so many big forwards and they tire easily, it's hard to bring them out, to get them on that edge to cover those gaps.
Great charge forward again, coming in from the Kiwis. Play coming up towards the halfway. Again, Maynard looking for that quicker play of the ball. Stowers goes forward. This is the last of the set. Maynard, again, assesses her options. The ball goes back to McGregor. The kick is high again. Again, it's allowed to bounce. Will it be picked up by New Zealand? Batted back? Yes, it will. The possession comes back to the Kiwis. I think we're still on the last. I don't think it came from a hand from the Cook Islands. The referee blows a whistle and indicates the handover.
Never let the ball bounce.
That was almost so costly there, wasn't it? Underneath it, Tuana completely wrong-footed by that bounce, and it's oval. It's not going to just land and bob straight back up again, is it?
No, exactly, and maybe those couple of bobbles in the first half are just playing on her mind a little bit, so she's letting it bounce, but against an opposition like the Kiwis, give them half a chance and they will punish you for it.
Stevens at acting half, gives the ball to Matua, takes on the line before offloading the pass. And New Zealand get their forwards in. Crystal Tamarua with the tackle. Both sides making a few changes for this evening's game after round one. Some good players not playing tonight for both Cook Islands and New Zealand as well, as both coaches look to rotate their squad and make sure everybody gets game time in the legs as we move on through the tournament towards the business end of the season. Kick downfield then from Matua. Underneath it, taken safely. Parker. Tries to hit up there onto that defence. They do well, the Cook Islands there, standing their ground, standing firm. Albert Jones at Acton half. To the centre of the field, McGregor. Only slight is Paige McGregor, but she runs and carries that ball like a forward.
She's super strong as well. When I've been watching her in the NRLW playing for St George, she can hit a line and she can hold a weight tackling as well.
And a young player as well, as the ball moves back towards the sister, McGregor. Parker with the offload. New Zealand finds space out wide. This is looking good for the Kiwis. Great defence coming in though for Cook Islands. But New Zealand putting pressure on that line from that run. Crash ball. And it looks like it's McGregor. The touch judges look, the referee looks. The arms go in the air. Video referee is called. Will this be a try for New Zealand? Try given on the field. Let's see what referee Tom Grant, video referee, has to say.
He's tackled 4, on-field call of try. Please can we say all available angles for pick-up and grounding. Anything on the pick-up there, please? Just something from the corner, possibly, just so we can see that this is the one, yeah. Oh, can we go close on that, please? Just to check there's no separation. Ball is played. Still in contact with the ball, that's okay. So just a grounding, please. Anything a bit tighter on that, please, match director. Thank you. I've seen all the angles I need and I've now made my decision.
So all eyes to the big screen. A try given on the ground as Racine McGregor got her second of the game. Yes, she has. The slight doubt there about a knock-on as she picked the ball up from Acting half. But in the end, Kelsey Gentles, the try awarded.
Yeah, she's a great player. She's got great vision. She knows that Cook Islands are expecting this to go wide after that breaking play, and a lot of their forwards were retreating late, and they were just trying to get the spacings right to go defend that edge, and she just saw her opportunity and took it.
Albert Jones back with the kicking duties. Not added there. I'm not quite sure why Clark wasn't carrying off. She's probably not on the field anymore. She was on the bench to start with. So no goal tagged on. Just one goal so far from the opening 4 tries. But Racine McGregor getting her second of the game. And what a break that was to set things up for New Zealand.
Madison was lucky not to be able to finish that off. She just needed a little bit of support to just tip on, but maybe she learnt from her mistake in the first half, not forcing it and just taking the tackle and resetting, and it paid off because Racine saw her opportunity and took it straight away.
The little dummies are working nicely, aren't they, for New Zealand close to the line. We've seen a couple of tries come from dummies like that.
Yeah, Racine McGregor, she's spending a lot of time with Crystal Rota, and she's a really great player. She's got a great dummy at the line, and
so we'll get ready for the kick-off again as Matua kicks long downfield. Not a little bit scruffy there from the Kiwis, but safely in possession, and we start with the charge again. I don't know if you heard, Kelsey, the referee had a word with New Zealand while the video referee was looking at that, just telling them to get the message back to the players as McGregor goes breaking through again. Racine McGregor, she's got support, tries to sell the dummy. She maybe should have given it on that occasion. She didn't. Charging up on her outside was Hufanga, but McGregor has taken play inside the 40 for New Zealand, who really have got a roll on now. Hall, extra few metres with her run forward. Strong run coming from her. Tamarua, Leishon Albert. regulation. Albert Jones keeping it moving. The ball goes back again to Albert Jones, who knocks it on. Can't take it cleanly. And what a roll on there from New Zealand.
Racing should have gave it. The fullbacks thought, you're not going to trick me again. You've tricked me twice. You're not going to trick me a third time.
We just see there she's got the support. Charging up on her outside is Hufanga.
Give it.
Yeah, 2 on her outside, in fact. So the scrum will take place. So as I was saying before, unexpectedly there, McGregor made that break. The referee just having a word with the New Zealand players, telling them to get the message back, to stop going with the extras after the tackles. I've not noticed anything. I was a bit surprised to hear that.
I've noticed a couple of times they're just playing for the penalty. You know, smart, well-established teams, they know that it just kills a team conceding penalty after penalty, and that's what they're playing for. They want those quick play the balls, and Cook Islands are not letting them do that, so they are adding a little bit extra, but the referee's not having any of it tonight. He wants a cleaner game, so he's having a little word saying, behave yourselves.
I would imagine there'll be some interested onlookers for this one tonight. Not only Australia, who New Zealand come up against on Thursday here at York, but I dare say that England might have an eye on the matches this evening to see what's going on, with certainly New Zealand and Australia expected to progress from this group, and England and Papua New Guinea already progressing through from Group A, with just the positions to be decided with that game on Wednesday. Back to this evening, that was certainly forward, coming out from Matua. The referee right on the spot with the whistle. I think Wiki thought she was away clean there then. And the referee blowing the whistle. I can't believe he took that long to blow that. That was so far
that
forward.
Was like throwing it from the 10 metres to the 30. That was
so
forward.
far forward. It was like nearly in the middle of next week it was that far forward, that pass. So we get the scrum. 2 sides coming to pack down.
But if Cook Islands start playing a little bit wider, they'll find some joy than the simple one hit-ups.
But at the moment, that's how they're playing, isn't it? Right up the middle of the field as New Zealand try and do the work again with Paige McGregor. Maynard at acting half. Has the support, charging up the middle of the field. Here we go with the break. Big hit coming in on Nuasala. Matua, the player who's in there, she will know about that. She looks like she may have heard herself know she's on her feet. New Zealand keeping that ball going. They've got support out wide. Parker offloads. And there she is, finally with the try on her debut. Millie Hufanga, she's been denied twice with near misses. This time, no doubt at all. The try comes for her on her debut. New Zealand extend their lead.
She'll have been watching and waiting for that all game, and it took 59 minutes to get it. She's had about 3 chances denied, but she deserves that. You know, she's been waiting patiently on her debut. Well done.
And it has been a patient wait for her as well, hasn't she? She's been in the position a couple of times, but there, look at the space, and a player out wide as well. That's
the thing, playing on the edge. You've got to just be patient and trust that your ball handlers and your spine will get the ball to you when it matters, and it's a great finish.
Credit as well to Shanice Parker in the build-up to that, as we just see there was that massive hit that came in, and New Zealand then just took advantage with a player down on the ground, space out wide, and just kept going. But Parker did so well there, taking the ball to the line before she offloaded.
Yeah, and she held up that winger great. She went to go and she went to pass and wait until the winger engaged and then gave it then to centre would go in untouched. It's great.
So the conversion to come on the far side. This will be a challenge for Albert Jones, as again we just see the huge hit that came in from Matua. She replaces her gum shield and takes chance to have a bit of a breather. So Albert Jones not had the best of evenings with the boot. Let's see if she can get her first of the night. Just the second conversion, the one that has been successful, coming from Brianna Clark. And again, it falls short. 22-0, the scoreline stays. No success yet for Albert Jones, as again we see what led to the try, the break that came through. But what a hit that came in on Nuasala.
It was a great hit from Matai, but that ruck was far too fast, and Cook Islands could not deal with that.
And the space opening up. He almost looked there and think Parker maybe could have gone herself, but did the unselfish thing and the right thing as well and just got rid of that last defender. So Havanga with her first try in the black shirt. And the kickoff to come again from Matua downfield. Taken cleanly by Albert Jones. And New Zealand drive forward up the centre of the field. It's interesting to see. I've not seen any British teams what I've seen the likes of New Zealand do, of gathering into a huddle and almost doing breathing exercises, aren't they, when a try's been scored, just to reset while the conversion's been taken.
Yeah, I've never done that before. I've never seen it before either. We're too busy getting shouted at by Sinead Peach when we're playing to do any breathing exercises.
Sinead Peach, the York captain here in the Women's Super League.
She's tried to do any breathing exercises.
She'd
have something to say about it for sure.
We're finding out all your secrets tonight, Kelsey, about what goes on behind the scenes as the ball goes into touch and the attack breaks down for New Zealand. See the ball again going back across, just evading the grasp of Ormond Monsell out on the left, and we can see there Kimiora Brayley-Nati, who was taken off the pitch so early in this game after a massive hit. She just got her tackle technique slightly wrong, completely out cold, and that's the rest of her night, sitting there trying to keep warm. Didn't look too happy either, and completely understandable as well, and I think she really has been at a loss this evening for Cook Islands.
Yeah, she will have wanted to do her part tonight and steer them where they need to go as the co-captain, and when you're the captain and you can't give your team the support they need and you've got to stand on the sideline, that hurts a bit more.
Cook Islands still looking for their first points of the evening, still looking for their first points ever against New Zealand. Nagatapuna brought down. Stevens at acting half. Passing going along the line, Walton back in, there's going to be no space there. You can see the defence shuffling across from New Zealand and doing a great job, but the ball kept alive, sent back in field, kick forward, and that just rolls over the dead ball line.
Yeah, they didn't need to kick that there, they should have just took the tackle and played it out. And Shanice Parker, you don't need to give her...
No, quick tap, oh here we go with a break up the middle of the field from New Zealand. Bartlett is hauled down, the chase is good from Cook Islands, but that was fast. That shows you what fast play can do, and a penalty as well awarded to New Zealand. You can see just trying to slow the ball down, and 10 minutes given to Maliena Hunapo, certainly slowing the play down there, trying to wait while her players got back on side after that break that came from New Zealand. Cook Islands properly on the back foot and certainly on the back foot now.
Yeah, she would just try to buy a team some time and let them big girls get back on side, but you just can't do that. It's against the rules, professional foul, and her team will be missing her now for the next 10 minutes.
And suddenly Cook Islands' task has got a little bit bigger. As again, New Zealand with Crystal Tamarua. Great work coming in there from Cook Islands in defence. You've got to give them credit for some of the tackling they've put in this evening. Attacking on the short side with McGregor. Again, offloads to Hall. Hall picks up the pace. The ball goes back. Not taken. I thought Hall was going to go herself. She flicked the ball out, and Ormond Monsell just couldn't get a hand to it.
And that's unfortunate from Anther. That's what I mean. She's a great player. She's got a great offload game, and her team just went late there.
They were queuing up, it looked like, really, didn't it? Again, Havanga was there, sniffing out for a second try on debut. But just not ready for it. What pace from Hall, from a prop forward as well.
Yeah, she can move, that girl.
Certainly showing that this evening. Big tackle coming in then. Cook Islands back in possession. Just outside the 20. At the centre of the field, nearly half a gap there for Rongakea to try and get her way through as Walton tries to organise the troops in the centre of the field. Stevens again at acting half. Matua, bit of a dummy. Offloads to Nagatapuna. And again, Cook Islands keep it alive. Here's Stevens going up the middle of the field with that possession. She's got people to beat. No one in support. She couldn't have got it away anyway because of the position of the New Zealand defenders, but Cook Islands on a roll. This is the last. Matua puts the grubber kick through. There's Wiki. Wiki's in! Wiki scores! Mackenzie Wiki for Cook Islands, their first ever points against New Zealand, and the crowd are on their feet.
That was a great team try. You know, they looked like they were going to get bogged in their own half for a good 3 tackles, and it was just a little bit of brilliance from Matai that passed it to the other half-back, and she went straight through, and she didn't panic. She took a tackle in, reset, and they got them on the edge.
Great work there from Mackenzie Wiki, the 20-year-old. Her dad, Ruben, if he's watching, I'm sure he'll have been on his feet as well. The break started off by Stevens up the centre of the field. And New Zealand really having to scramble. Cook Islands taking advantage. Just listen to the roar in the background as we see the replay of the try, though.
That was great from the winger, you know. She really did have to outrun Madison Bartland, who is a fast winger. And that was a great kick from Matai as well. Got exactly where it needed to be. Put it on a dinner plate for her.
Great celebrations coming. One of the wonderful moments of this Women's Rugby League World Cup. So Kerry Matua. She was the one that put the kick through, as again we see the breathing exercises coming through from the Cook Islands players in their huddle. That'll be one she'll remember for a long time.
They are some team. They didn't score with 13 on the pitch, but they'll score with 12.
Often the case, though, isn't it? You go down to 12 and suddenly a side is sparked into life.
It's a mindset, I think. You know, you've got to work a little bit harder.
So Matua is with the conversion attempt. The player that put the kick through, can she be successful and add on the extra points? There was a proper buzz that went around the stadium then when that try went in. It was wonderful.
Yeah, that was great to be a part of. Everyone's real happy for them.
So the kick comes in. Will it be extra 2 then for Cook Islands? Just to the right of the post, so nothing added.
I think they really deserve that. You know, they've thrown everything at this New Zealand side all game, and it's great to get them their first points.
And it was a quicker play at the ball as well that helped in the build-up to that, just to show that if the play can be a little bit sharper, Cook Islands will get more joy.
Yeah, they just need to be a bit more eager around the ruck. They don't look like they're in a rush. That was the first time I saw them get up and play it.
So New Zealand with the restart, the first time they've had to restart in this game. 22 points to 4. New Zealand lead, and that has set the crowd alight now.
Yeah, they're getting excited now.
Looking for the runners at the middle of the field with Walton. Tries to drive her feet. Little stuttering steps there. Do you know, just looking at this, and while I think New Zealand have certainly had the edge this evening, the scoreboard doesn't suggest that they've been that much better than Cook Islands. It will be interesting to see when New Zealand come up against Australia, I think. Just the mindset of the Kiwis as well, and the difference between the sides.
I think the difference between the Australian Jillaroos and the Kiwis is all in this defence. The Kiwis have always prided themselves as being a strong side, strong defensively, and they have been strong defensively today. They've been a little bit clunky in attack at times, and maybe that will come as the tournament goes on, and they've only just come to England not long ago, but like you say, they will really be tested against the Jillaroos, so we'll see how good their defence is then.
New Zealand back in possession. The tackle is in there. Ricky Henry looking on pensively, really, at the moment. As Hafanga comes in the middle of the field. She's had a game to remember as well on debut for New Zealand with that try. Maynard. Nuasala. Coming towards halfway now. The referee really making his instructions absolutely clear about what he wants. Oh, there's an error again from New Zealand. It's Racine McGregor, 2 tries for her, but coming up with the error there.
Yeah, that's quite a rare one from Racine as well. She's normally got really great hands. It wasn't the best of passes, though.
No, it was quite low. It was almost around her knees, wasn't it, really? And she had to reach out for it as well.
Aye, but if you're playing in this stage, you've got to catch everything. Can't have a half, but can't catch everything.
says the winger.
I know. What do I know?
So to wait for the sides to pack down. She's got a heck of a boot on her as well as Kerry Matua. As we just see her with the ball in hand, playing in the house tonight, putting the ball in the scrum and getting away. It's a heck of a boot. She's putting those high balls up and sadly can't hang on in the possession. And New Zealand easily just pop up with the ball. And again, we get half a break up the middle of the field with Poulet. The ball's played. And now it's Clark going through.
That looked like it hurt Matua a little bit. She lost the ball.
Yeah, it was a strange one really, wasn't it, that? But it's the Kiwis trying to edge their way upfield. Looking dangerous when they get near the 20 in this half of New Zealand. Maynard darts from the acting half position. Looking for space. Out on the right. Have they found that space? They have! It's a second try for Hafanga. The referee, no doubt this time, pointing to the spot. A debut to remember for the winger.
That was a great shift from left to right there. Nita Maynard, a fast 9, straight out, demolished the ruck, passed it to Racine, and Racine just had to pick whichever player she wanted to pass to. She had that many outside her.
They've been queuing up on that side, haven't they, when New Zealand have moved the ball towards their right. As we see again, look, players just waiting for it. Hafanga into the centres now as well.
I feel like they know Racine, if they follow wherever she goes, a good pass will follow. She can make things happen, and her and Nita Maynard really linked up well then.
Nita Maynard has made a difference for me for New Zealand since she's come on off the bench.
Yeah, she's a different kind of 9 than Crystal Rota is, and she can identify a slow ruck, she can identify a fast ruck, and she knows when to go and she knows when to just give it.
So let's see if there's any success with the conversion. Brianna Clark is back with the kicking duties. She has got the only successful conversion of the game so far for New Zealand. And she's got the kicking tee back in her command. 26 points to 4. Brianna Clark, another one in the Kiwi squad, applies the trade for Brisbane. Grew up playing football in the USA. Bit of a change of tack for her with rugby league from football. And she's kicked 1 so far. She's kicked 2 now. The second conversion of the game, both coming from the boot of Brianna Clark. 28 points to 4, New Zealand lead.
Maybe she should take over the kicking duties. You know, she's been successful tonight, and they haven't been easy kicks.
Brianna Clark trotting back to take her place. It's been something we've seen in quite a lot of matches so far in this women's tournament, Kelsey, has been the conversions. We've seen for England, Tara Stanley struggle a little bit with some of the conversions. Tonight we've seen Albert Jones not have any success at all. I think a few of the teams have been struggling with the goal kicking, and there's no rhyme or reason to it, really.
No, exactly. Tara Stanley, anyone that follows the women's game knows she's a great kicker, and she has slotted some really hard kicks for us at York throughout the season, even for England in the mid-season internationals, and I couldn't even explain a reason. You know, I'm not a goal kicker, maybe it's just caught in a little bit of a rut, but she will be practicing that before PNG because it will be crucial.
So Cook Islands back up to 13 players. Milena Hunapo is back on the field after being sent to the sin bin for a professional foul. And they've done all right while they had 12. Let's see what difference it makes with 13 back on the pitch for Cook Islands. A little bit of sneaky forward pass, I think, there potentially for New Zealand, as a big hit comes in on McGregor. Not the best of balls either there from Albert Jones, as Clark tries to find a way through. We'll come to you in a second, Kelsey, as well. Have a think about your player of the match, and we'll come on to that in a second. And this is the last of the set for New Zealand. Kick goes through, good grubber kick, long downfield from Racine McGregor. It's picked up safely for the Cook Islands, though, and the attack comes again up the centre of the field. New Zealand coming hunting, and a penalty. The ball reefed out, says the referee. Tatuava just going back to take her place back out on the wing. A big hit coming in as well there in that tackle, and certainly you could see Jones right around the front of the player. And the ball coming loose. So the kick for touch will be taken again by Matua with the penalty. And that edges them up the middle of the field. So we've got, what, 4 minutes remaining in this game. Kelsey Gentles, who is your Kazoo player of the match?
You know, it has been quite hard to pick one, because I feel like on both sides there's been some really great players that have really stood up for the side tonight, but I think just a little bit of finesse has took this girl forward, and it's Racine McGregor. I think everything's gone through her for New Zealand tonight, and all the tries they've scored have just off her organising and just barking orders at her players.
And 2 tries for her as well this evening for the New Zealand halfback. So there we go, the player of the match, Racine McGregor of New Zealand. As Cook Islands on the attack. Walton did well there to take that ball. Scoops it out of the tackle, and knock on, he says, the referee. So that will be possession to New Zealand.
Looks like there's some tired bodies on that pitch now. Things are getting a bit messy, a bit sloppy.
Coming into the final few minutes of this match, New Zealand will be taking the points, which will set up that match next week against Australia. Australia to follow this one this evening, taking on France here at the Community Stadium. As the player just scuttles to get in position around the scrum before play continues for New Zealand. Again, it's that player, the player of the match. McGregor selling a bit of a dummy again, trying to get those extra yards forward. Driving through. New Zealand. Big run coming in forward from Hill Moana. Maynard to Rota, back on off the bench. Brought down 20 metres out. Cook Islands having to defend. They will really have to work hard in these last few minutes as New Zealand push to see if they can add more points on that board. It goes wide to Bartlett. Bartlett with 10 minutes to go, gets around the first line of the defence. The tackle is made, and Cook Islands stand firm.
6 again, push!
6 again, says the referee. Set restart is indicated. It goes out and away to Albert Jones, up the centre of the field to Clark. Clark keeping it moving. There's Maynard. Maynard's got support. Nuasala driving through. She'll take some stopping. Cook Islands stand firm. But New Zealand with the chance of adding to this scoreboard before this final whistle goes. It's McGregor, steps off one foot, steps off another, gets through a gap. She's still going, and a penalty awarded. A high shot on Racine McGregor, putting Cook Islands under more pressure. And New Zealand just gather to catch their breath. Maynard with the tap, and there's Nuasala going forward. The try given by the referee. New Zealand had icing onto their cake. Nuasala with the try. New Zealand lead 32-4.
And you almost could sense that was coming. You know, you cannot defend your try line time after time, and especially against a big strong side like this. They're going to break it at some point, and just an easy drop off play.
We said earlier in the game, Kelsey, about that when you've got a player that's as strong as that, so close to the line, running straight as well, there's no stopping it. And what a wonderful play by Maynard. It looked like the ball was going to go to Hill Moana on the left.
Yeah, exactly. Those defenders weren't really expecting it, and when you're half only getting off your line, it's really hard to stop someone running with that much power and that much pace.
So as she goes back to join her teammates Nuasala, it's Clark again with the kicking duties. And this will be the last kick of the game. 7 tries tonight for New Zealand, just 2 converted, both of those the change of kicker for New Zealand, both of those coming from Clark. So let's see if the extra 2 should be added from this distance. An angle, yeah, the flags go up. Success again for Clark. The extra 2 are added, and it's New Zealand that put themselves into the driving seat now with that 34 points to 4 win over Cook Islands. A big test still to come for New Zealand on Thursday against Australia. And that win setting them up nicely. New Zealand 34, Cook Islands 4. So a big win really on the scoreboard for New Zealand, a 30-point gap between themselves and Cook Islands. But I don't think, Kelsey, that really tells the story of the game. No, the score does not reflect the game at all, and Cook Islands really did have a good stab. I think losing it, their half-back for the first game thing, that really did struggle, and they really did struggle attacking-wise, and that's the kind of thing that made the difference. Maybe if she stayed on the pitch the full game, it would have been a different story, but as far as New Zealand are concerned, you know, it's job done. On to the next. They've got a harder test ahead of them. We see the coach there, Ricky Henry, in amongst his players. He will be looking for more from New Zealand, just a few areas of their game where he'll be looking for them to tidy up. Yeah, like I said, in attack they were a bit clunky at times, and when you come up against those hardy oppositions like England, like Australia, you really can't do that because the defence will pick you off with those little moments where it's not quite going. So in training this week, they really will be working hard to make sure that they're tightening up, and so they're ready to flow by the time they get Australia next week. A smile from Rusty Matua, the Cook Islands coach, as he stands with Ricky Henry. And it's a wonderful sight as well as the Cook Islands players wave across to the fans, and the fans are on their feet. And that was the moment of the game for me, when that try came in, the first points ever scored by the Cook Islands against New Zealand. Milena Hunapo, she ended up in the sin bin. It was Mackenzie Wickie with the try for New Zealand. It was a lovely moment in this game when that try went in. Yeah, it was just so good for him to get those points and to make history. You know, their first points against New Zealand, and they'll know they've had a hard test today, but I'm sure they'll be really proud of their efforts.